On paper, pick a con, any con shouldn't really appeal to me. I don't care for gambling, I don't care for tricks, it's not my kind of thing. But this episode of Cheers, like every other, just hits the mark every time and actually stirred up some emotions in me, almost of anger towards certain characters. And I'll explain what I mean by that. But the first time I watched this episode, I remember not actually liking it very much, and I think that might be because this is only the 19th episode of the first season, and while it's very quick to feel like part of the Cheers family and to fall in love with the characters, I had only had 18 other episodes to get to know the characters and build up feelings towards them. And I did watch a lot of Cheers in a short space of time, so it's not as if that was over 19 weeks or anything. Whereas now, having watched the entire show, there are various episodes I've watched multiple times, I have deeper feelings for the characters and responded to this in a separate way, or a different way rather, watching it now. Because the main narrative focuses on this con man who has basically tricked Coach out of a lot of money. We're talking thousands of dollars. And when I heard that, I kind of felt sick because Coach is a very lovable character, a very wonderful character, and obviously what happens with Coach after a couple of seasons just makes it even more emotional. I don't want to spoil that too much in case you're not there yet, but it hits harder once you've built up that relationship with the character. And Sam decides that there's only one way to go about resolving this, and that's getting the help of Harry the Hat. Now, Harry is not a character I love, and I don't hate him. And watching this, I didn't hate the character, and I actually liked him a lot more than I have done previously. So I have a very difficult relationship with Harry the Hat. I just can never decide on how I feel about him. But in this episode, he comes along with the plan of gambling with this other guy to get Coach's money back. And this is done with a poker game. As I said, I don't care for poker, I don't care for gambling, but it plays out very well. And Coach's bit about scratching his nose honestly was so beautifully executed and so funny. And there's a lot of humour in this, but it's also very tense because there's a lot of money at stake and there are a lot of feelings at stake. And Coach just draws out so many angry emotions with what was done to him. You know, this kind of intense feeling of wanting things to go right for Coach and this anxiety about not knowing what way the episode is going to go. So it's quite a difficult watch, but because it's so well done. However, there's still a lot of humor in this, and I have to say, John Ratzenberger has the best facial expression at the end of the bit involving not lifting the hat to drink the drink. I don't want to go into too much detail about that, but his facial expression at the end of that, once that finished playing out, was just glorious. And it really made me laugh. So there are definitely bits of comedy in this. The whole Bloody Mary thing I thought worked very well as well. It's a really good episode. It's very well written, it's very well acted. Even though I do not care at all about the subject matter of gambling, of tricksters, of con men, it is just beautiful. And I think that's one of the great things about Cheers is that it can make you feel things and draw you in, even if the subject matter is not your favourite. While I like baseball, I'm not a big sports person. I'm not a big sports fan. And yet, if an episode focuses on sports, I'm still so absorbed in the characters' stories that it's just wonderful. And Pick a Con, Any Con is a really, really great example of that.